Good day. Much love to you and yours. Welcome to my live. This is Siren Buddha Medicine. Qigong, Qigong. Yeah, I'm not doing Qigong, Qigong right now. I wanted to talk about just share some of the things that I find valuable as a life coach. And the same things that I'm sharing as a life coach, I think are valuable because they're the same things they're the same tools that anybody could use to just come to the same conclusion that anybody could.
Hey, Madam Sergeant.
Good day.
Good evening.
What is that?
I'm greeting you. I say good evening.
Good day.
I'm greeting you. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. I just want to have a nice time with you. I just want to play a game.
I don't want to play a game right now. I'm actually doing a live, and I wanted to share some things that I had on my mind with some of the people that I was looking forward to coming to my page. So thank you. Yeah, I don't want to play right now.
You break my heart, but no problem. That's cool.
Okay, so we've snapped out of whatever nervous stuff, pretty much what we're going on. I wanted to share part of myself with you. That's a necessary thing, to share a part of yourself with other people. Okay, so this is what I want to share with you. I'll take some people later, but right now I just want to actually get my live going. What I want to talk about is the differences between people turning into the commonalities. When I was growing up, I don't know if you feel different out there, but I always felt different. And one of the solutions for feeling different was to make myself more like other people, right? In order to do that, I had to take their suggestions. So I allowed other people to tell me who I was and what to do with my life and what perspective to have in the world. And I really felt lost in that. And I still want it very much to connect with people. But in doing that and trying to connect with people, all I could see was the differences. Because I guess deep down inside, I was feeling like if I could just conquer my differences and make myself more like the people that were around me, I would get along in the world so much better. And everybody was telling me that they had the best advice for my life, you know. One of the messages that I got when I was growing up was young, wild, and free. And that one seemed to ring out more than all the other messages that I got because, I don't know, I guess it was the young and wild and free part that really appealed to me outside of feeling stagnant and suppressed and misunderstood. Good day, Gary. Hi, Magna. Oh, that's an interesting name. AZIZ. Lewis, and anyone else that I didn't see, thank you for joining my live. I'm just talking about how it felt growing up and feeling different, and how much pressure there is on people that feel different to act similar to everyone else around them. And one of the things that saved my life with that was when I was looking for how to get some connectivity with other people, it was always my only solution was to be the same as them. But over time and after a lot of pain, I realized that my power was in the differences that we all have. That we all wear many different hats. I mean, as a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend, I'm a mentor. And then there's other hats and forms of ourself that we put on when we're out in the community. You know, whatever profession you have, you could be a policeman or a lawyer or a doctor or a nurse, or a teacher, you know. And so there's these different hats that we put on. But what do we have in common? Good day, Raphael and Christella. The things that we have in common are really important. And that's what I started looking at. Outside, we all have 2 arms and 2 legs and a head, which is very apparent. I started looking at, we all have feelings. And like, why do we get up? Why do we all get up in the morning to go do something? I stopped personalizing things as much, and that was one of the tools. Hi, Kings. So one of the tools that I used was to stop personalizing to the point where I was thinking it was only me and that it was something in me that had to change. Instead of me realizing, I started realizing that we're all just people having an experience, you know, and that our experiences that we have are tailored, specifically tailored to each and every one of us. And what gets us up in the morning is we seek out a sense of security. We want to provide and protect our loved ones. You know, we're providing for people that we care about. We're making breakfast and sending people to school and making sure we can pay our rent and just the regular things like that. And I started looking at, along my journey, the kinds of things that we have to compromise to do in order to make that happen. Brings us together, makes us have more in common than we do that is different from one another. I started looking at how people protect their interests, they protect their loved ones. Um, and how I wanted to also protect my loved ones. And motive. Motive means a lot for people when they get up in the morning. So all these different hats can make us feel different, but we can also look at how they make us similar to one another. So my connectivity with everybody from feeling so different was realizing how much alike we are, if that makes any sense to you. I stopped looking at the differences and started looking at how we're alike in very small ways. And it's the little things. Sir Herdran, good day. Thanks for joining my live. I'm just getting used to doing lives. I'm an empath. It's a little bit of a juggling thing for me right now, trying to figure this out and how I'm going to how I'm going to do this with you, how I'm going to have this interaction with you. So I remember in college they did this exercise. I'm just going to I'm a little scattered right now and I'm a little new at this part, and I want to connect with people and keep this positive energy in here, and I'm just getting started, so I'm not going to take anybody, I'm not inviting anybody on the thing right now. I'm just trying to get a feel for being on the live and sharing my story and myself with you and seeing how we can bring some connectivity to the things that I share on TikTok and the things that we share together. So just let me get there. So we all wear these different hats, and we all have our vulnerabilities, and we all want to protect the things that we love. And in going about doing that, we do different things that may look like an attack to other people, but really is symptomatic. And I learned that it's a lot of times not personal. It's things that are going on in people's own lives that make them respond and react to you in different ways, which helped me not take things so personal. There was a lot of pain and that feeling different from everyone else, and a lot of peace and joy, and realizing how similar we are, and empowerment, and realizing that I have a choice to look at one spectrum of it or the other. I have a choice to pay attention to one spectrum of it or the other, how different we are or how alike we are, and knowing that, and being conscious of that, and noticing that, and taking note of that changes a lot within the consciousness that we share. Because I can respond differently when I'm responsible for my. Just give me a minute. You know, certain things can get lost because they're so vast. But what I do is go back to the smaller pieces, the I want to say minimal, but it's the small versus the larger spectrum, like what we're all made of. So one of the ways that I look at the connectivity that we all have is looking at what we're all made of: water, fire, earth, ether, and air. So by looking at the separate parts, hi Cassie, hi Robert, thank you for joining my live, and anyone else that I didn't mention, thanks for being here. Just getting a feel of this, getting a feel of you guys out there, getting rid of my little sea legs and stuff like that. And even as I'm doing the live, I have to remember how much alike we are, you know, that we all feel uncomfortable, like being on the hot seat. This is like being on the hot seat, you know, being a part of a live thing. But we all have to drink water. And we're all made out of carbon, which is earth. And we all have to breathe air. And we all dream or have daydreams and have thoughts. And we all have light, which is the fire. So when I pay attention to nurturing those parts of us instead of the other parts, I'm going to take this young. Oh, okay. I would appreciate it if you would just like the live, and give me some encouragement as I go around and I give other people encouragement, because it's not a big deal. That's another thing. The connectivity, that's one thing. Okay, so the state of the human condition. If I'm feeling good about myself and I go to other people's pages and I see the materials that they're doing, the effort that you put out in your videos and sharing little bits and pieces of yourself in this TikTok community. Hi Anna, hi Jesse, hi Joel. And I see it and I want that same energy back. I want you to like me. So I'll pay it forward. I'll like the things that you're doing. I'll even share or collaborate some things. I'll show that. I'll put that energy in there and show an effort. Hi, Dale. And so I noticed that when I'm feeling crappy about myself, it's really hard to like someone else's stuff. I don't know what it is, but when you pay attention to subtle energies, and maybe it's just easier for me to take note of it because I'm an empath, because I've done a deep search of my own feelings and emotions to figure out where I begin and where someone else ends, or where you begin, where I'm letting you transcend into my life with your feelings and emotions and opinions, and where I may be trying to overpower you or over dominate you with mine. But when we come up with a certain balance, it's just a really nice, smooth place to be. And that's the space that we're working at to get to here right now. Is this space where we can easily care about one another. So if you don't like what I'm saying right now, that's fine. But then you ask yourself, why are you watching? Why do I watch things that I don't like? Why do we do that? Am I feeding a part of myself that likes counterproductiveness or negative stuff? That's what I ask myself. There's times when I've been watching somebody's stuff and man, I've seen the dancing, okay? Now, I do a different type of dancing. It's therapeutic, and it comes from a different place. But there's times when I'm watching someone dance, and their kind of artistic expression is just beautiful. And me being in this carbon body, I can't help but think sometimes, wow, how athletic that person is, or you know, how talented that person is, or how attractive that person is. And then I'm looking at the like button, and my finger is just like, and from the inside, I'll feel this feeling, and I'm like, what is it that I'm doing right now? I like what I'm seeing, and I think that it's fabulous. Why wouldn't I want to press the like button? What is it about me that's going on inside where I don't want to contribute and help this other person succeed when they clearly put out some good energy? And so I make a point now, after doing that, that self-search with my shadow self, that's part of the shadow self, to thine own self be true, and learning to do self-reflection. And in comparing myself, I do things like, we all have jealousy, and it comes out in this way. And so I can own my own. And I can pay attention to those parts of myself that may have holes in them. And I can own my own. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Mike. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Rude Boy. I can own my own. Be humble. Yes, be humble. Own my own stuff. And a part of just the human condition, that we all struggle with things. We all want to be loved and accepted. And in order to do that, somebody told us we had to be alike. But alike in what way? Are we alike with just only the carbon body? And then we find our differences in our appearances, our color, our gender, our size, our stature, our beauty or non-beauty? Do we find the differences in physical things like finances, what you got versus what I got, whether it's physical or whether it's material? Or can we find the commonalities? We all want to be healthy. We all want to be wise enough to keep ourselves safe. How do we do that? Most of us want to find a way to make sure that when we go to the other side, to the hereafter, that we have some kind of self-assurance that we're going to be okay. A lot of us know something is there, and we all have a different depiction of it. Good day, Eric. Good day, Self Life. Good day, everyone. We have an idea of what the hereafter is going to be on all 4 different parts of the globe. So rather than feeling isolated and different and alone, the Most High started allowing me to see the things that we have in common. Thank you for liking the live. And it's the things that we have in common that will heal us and bring the cohesiveness. We all want to feel safe. We want to feel loved. We want to feel accepted. How can we do that? How can we get that if we don't receive that? That's one of the universal laws, is the energy that you put out, you get back. And what I realized is that it was like a trick of the enemy. When I was younger and I felt so different, it just brought up so much anger in me. It brought up so much jealousy and freaking rage. I was just, I was done with it. I was just so frustrated. It brought up so much, frustration. Like, how do I get this right? And then I started to hear that message, pay it forward and treat others like you want to be treated. And I was like, what is that? I don't even know how to be treated. I wasn't treated right. That's another story. I wasn't treated right because someone didn't treat them right. And so they didn't know how to treat me right. And so it continued. It transcended from generation to generation. And when do we stop it? Good day. Thanks for joining the live. Thanks for becoming a part of what we're talking about. Even this live is bringing the connectivity that we need on a conscious level. This is a different space. This is a space that a lot of people avoid. Another thing is too, like some kind of secret gate or some kind of door that we have, that's you and this is me, them versus us, is an empowerment. Like, we think that we can put up this invisible force field and come up with all the reasons why it's them and not us, or all the reasons why it should be us and not them. And we only do that to keep ourselves safe, because us and them want the same thing. I remember saying, and in the realizing this and taking note to this and taking the notice from my higher self, from the Most High, from spiritual things, from things that I was hearing that were contrary to what I was feeling, the frustration that I was feeling, I started to see that my empowerment wasn't taking responsibility for the way I was feeling about my own self. That I was asking for things from others that I wasn't willing to give. And that can be frustrated trying to turn that around. How scary it is to want to meet people in the place where you're willing to give and show a vulnerability, but you don't know if you're going to get it back. How do you pay that forward? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Perez. That last name sounds familiar. I had a friend that was a shaman. His name was Luis Perez. Taught me a lot. This is going to be a little sporadic, going back and forth. I'm just going to go with the energy. So my friend Perez, Luis Perez, he's a shaman. Years ago, he taught me about the body, different parts about the body. And this is like one of the places where I first started. I had so much disconnection from my own body, just trying to get from day to day, getting along with people and fitting in, that I disconnected from my own true self. Good day, Kyle. Much love to you and yours, everybody that's in the live. I had disconnected from myself, trying to be like everybody else and trying to fit in. It was like, which way do you go? Which way do you go? Do I do this like them? Do I do that like them? Do I sit like this like them? And if I did, none of it felt good because it wasn't me. And where do you find you? I started finding me and the parts that are just like everybody else, if that makes any sense. It's within the connectivity that we find our similarities. And that unity is what's going to heal this fractal world that we're in. Not in a way that it won't be fractal anymore. No, we need that. We need the different parts to make a whole. We need the pinky, and we need, we need all the fingers in order to make a hand. And we need two hands in order to pick anything up. Well, not anything. You can pick something up with one hand. But if it's bigger, if it's a bigger job, right? And so we need each other. Your TikTok ain't floating without followers. You follow me and I follow you back is another way that we transcend and change the energy. And so you like me or not, I'm going to be true to myself, and I'm going to invite that energy in, because that's a true sign of the healing. When you're able to do for others what you want done for yourself. I want this understanding that I'm giving to you. I want to have that energy back. This is a universal law. It's a principle of energy. That what you put out into the universe comes back, and you can pay it forward. Okay? So my friend Lewis, back to him. He said, Regina, you just need love. You just need to eat right, and you need love. You need friends, and you need to talk to your body. Yeah, I need to talk to my body. Yes, you need to talk to your body. And so I started really to listen to that. I mean, I need love, and I need, to eat right. That sounded good. I need love wasn't so simple, because first of all, how do you love yourself? Like, what does that mean if you don't know what that means? It's easy for people to say, oh, you got to love yourself first, but first you need a concept. If they say do unto others as you want done unto yourself, and you don't know self-love, you really have no concept of what that actually means, right? What does that actually mean? So the first thing that I had to do in my shadow work was figure out and take note that I didn't know what real love was, because I had come from a broken place. But that broken place didn't have to stay broken, that I could take that piece. Good day, everyone joining the live. I could take that piece and I could put it with other people that were broken and had worked on things that they had did to fix themselves, and I could add my energy to theirs. That I could actually take the advice from them, like my friend Lewis, who's the shaman, who had also been through some things, So he was like, you got to love your body. And it's from that place that I started to see the body on a fractal level as well. Minimal and on an expanded level, right? So one of the things is our feet. Don't laugh at my crazy toes. Okay, so this is the way. There's shortcuts to this stuff, and it's like magic once you cut through the BS, right? Once you get to the point zero space where we're all the same, and I'm just talking to myself, that you may not feel like it. You may feel like, okay, you're a guy, or you're a younger woman, or an older woman, or you're from a different culture. Maybe you have a different religion. But there's still so many similarities to pay attention to, that there's really no sense at all that we pay attention to the differences to the point where it breaks us apart and there's no connectivity where we can't get anything done. That's by design. Okay? So when we really start to heal each other, we start to pay it forward and give that to other people, because we start to realize that, just like my friend Lewis shared with me back then, that was a shaman, that we're just broken people trying to get better. That you could be another hurt person hurting people, even indirectly. Like, see something that you enjoy, but not even be able to have enough wholeness within yourself to push the like button and show someone else, just like you want to be shown, that you like them. Very simple. We're not getting married. We're just liking each other, and we're putting that energy there, and we're paying it forward. And that is a part of the solution, is doing for others what you want done unto themselves. So I started asking myself, well, what do you want? What do you like? back to the foot, okay? This point zero space is like shortcuts. It's like the concept that I'm getting at and things that I'm teaching us, that I'm sharing with us, is like this. This is a piece of paper. And we see this dimension of it, and we see this dimension of it. And that's how sometimes we see things. Sometimes we see things this way, and some of us see things this way, right? Some of us will notice the lines on the page and the writing. Some of us might notice the edges. Some of us might notice this whole thing. But when we start noticing that some of us see it like this, and some of us see it like this, and that it's okay, we get this. We get a folded space that brings a different dimension to what we're sharing with each other, okay? And it's within this folded space, within this creative space, that we can heal ourselves. The body works very similar to that. There's something called reflexology and acupuncture. All right? Anybody out there know where I'm going with this? Okay? Folded space, a point zero space, okay, of healing that transcends. So, in reflexology, you can touch different spaces on your toes, and it will let you access your lungs. Remember, we're a body. Stay with me. I'm a little abstract, okay? We're a body, okay? And within that body are the different working parts. And as a body, each one of us have a job to do, have a benefit, and have a downfall. And if it's not noticed, taken note of, and nurtured or paid attention to, that phone wants to die on me. I'm not going to stay on the live much longer. I will try to take a caller before I get out of here. Okay, so that's basically the kind of things that I'm sharing, is the shortcuts mentally and physically to get to a space where you have some kind of wholeness and connectivity. And I can't do that by being above you. No, I'm not trying to tower above you. I do have a lot of information, and I'm perfectly capable of sharing things with you that are very useful. And I'm really careful about not giving you any nonsense. The things that I share are very abstract, and well, may not be normal for you, but they could be, and they're really good tools, because they help you cut through the BS, cut through the fog, to cut through the static, okay? This is a light code message. We're all made of light as well. It's been a light code frequency. Anybody want to join? I'll take somebody if you want to talk before my phone dies. This message is coming to you with love. Much love to you and yours. I hope some of the things that I said were helpful to you. Yeah, my friend Lewis was from a different culture. And at first, when you meet people from other areas of life, we could pay attention to how different they are. Maybe they dress different. Maybe they have a different language. They express their spirituality in a different way. But what do you have in common? Do you both care about your immediate surroundings? If the air quality drops, are you both going to care about? If the water gets contaminated, are you both going to care about it? If the conditions and people's mental welfare, mental state goes off, are you both going to care about it? Yes, because you both have family and friends and other things that you're connected to. You have people that you work with. You have people that you pray with. You have people that you feed. So it is going to matter to you. And that's part of the point zero cut through all the red tape, is pay attention to what we have in common, what is really meaningful. This illusion will make us pay attention to so many things that don't matter. And in that lies the rub and the reason why it's so difficult for us to give to other people what hasn't been given to us, or what we want so deeply ourselves. But a universal principle is kind of like karma. And it's kind of like do unto others what you want done unto you. But first we have to figure out what we want done unto us. First we have to figure out what was done unto us. And then we can realize that it was done unto others as well. It wasn't just us. Don't take it personal. This is the state of the world, with all these different thought forms and archons. That these thoughts and these impressions, they press upon us. They impress upon us to want to be a particular way, to want to fit in, but in a backwards way. Like I was saying earlier, I wanted so much to fit in, and it used to just set me in a rage and frustration, trying so hard. Trying so hard. But then the higher self and the inner voice in my lessons, and thank goodness I started having a connectivity to run across people that have voices like this. And it's like, hey Regina, you just need to take care of yourself. You need to love on your own body. You need to massage your toes. That led me to reflexology. You need some friends that care about you. Just like simple stuff. Like, how do I get that? It sounds simple, right? Well, first you put the energy out there to actually care about yourself. And then that allows you to care about other people, because you're not looking for it as much as you want to give it, because you realize other people are in the same freaking human condition. We all want that. So if you want that, we give that. But how do you give that if you don't know that? And you don't know that you don't know that if you didn't do any self-searching. If you won't allow yourself to be honest with yourself. And you can't get to the core of your own being, your own shadow that follows you wherever you go, your inner self, you know. That shade, that part of yourself that a lot of us don't want anyone to know is there. Only like people closest to us, and sometimes even them, don't know certain vulnerabilities. You know, certain things are there inside of us. But it's okay. The healthy space that we are building in, because all y'all came to this energy. So there's a connectivity. I'm on a certain frequency. This is 369A. Okay? All right? So if you're into numerology and things like that, there's certain frequencies that we embody. How about, I don't know, you could take this assignment or not. There's a couple of things you can do from this live. You can learn about self-reflection. Think about the things that I've said. Go massage your toes. Really, that's how I started out. It sounds so silly, but I literally started out putting my research down, putting the books down, putting the videos down, and just going and listen to that one simple thing my friend told me, and started massaging my toes. And I realized I didn't even want to take the time with myself to actually do that. I mean, I wouldn't mind someone else massaging my toes, I would think. But me massage my own toes? Was I worth spending the time to massage my own toes, to make my own self feel better? Or was I going to impress upon someone else to make me feel better? Something that simple that tells us about ourselves. So, I mean, even doing this now, it could bring a lot of calm to you, and it's very therapeutic. Look up reflexology. So there's a couple of dimensions to this. One is, maybe you like looking at toes. Maybe you have a fetish. Maybe you like pretty toes. Maybe you like to have your toes massaged. I mean, getting in this position and being able to massage. Maybe you can't massage your own toes because, for whatever reason, okay? At the time, I was 287 pounds. Yes, there was a time I was 287 pounds, and massaging my toes and getting in this position was not so easy. But that was also something that I had to work on, because I realized that part of the way that I was feeling was because of the way that I was looking at myself. The way that I saw myself played a big part. And the way that I was seeing other people, and the way that I think other people see me. Letting that empower me, it takes that negative connotation of power away from you, because I'm being true to me. And that's the benefit in doing your own shadow work, is that you empower yourself, and no one can take that truth from you. You have the ability. Good day, everyone that's coming into the live. You have the ability to empower yourself with your own truth. And from that space, from a space of truth is very powerful. You have a lot. And you can share that space and therefore bring in the connectivity. So the other part was massaging my own toes, getting to that space where I wanted to do that. Just that one thing brought so much reflection and insight. So after massaging my toes and realizing that it felt good, I was like, I want to learn more about that. I looked into reflexology, and I learned that it wasn't too much different than acupuncture. It was just on a different wavelength, like it didn't penetrate as much as the needles did. Or in a different way, the massage. And how I got to spend time with myself, nurturing myself and giving myself those little things that I wanted. Good day, DJ. Good day, Williamer. Jackie, much love to you and yours. Thanks for joining the live. I don't have a way to, you know what? Maybe I can charge my phone. All right, let me go grab my charger. Then maybe I could take some people and we can continue the conversation. Would you guys like to continue the conversation some more? I'm going to wait and see if someone says yes. I want to continue the conversation some more. Yes, Regina, I want to continue the conversation some more. We're just getting comfortable talking about our toes and how alike we are. How we can pay attention to how alike we are, more than the differences. Yeah, I really want to do that. Let's do that. Let's talk some more about how alike we are, shall we? How much? Yes. Good day. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my charger so I can stay on a little bit longer with you. I'll do to we'll go to 12:30. How's that? I'll be right back. Strangers in the day, because it's not night here. It could be night where you are. great. We have power. All right. So, we're talking about folding space. What we have in common. Folding space. What we have in common folds space. It collapses the indifferences into nothing. What do we have in common? Very simple things, like in psychology class and in social studies, they would talk about, okay, there's things that, the part of the human condition that we all want. We all want a sense of security, right? That's food, shelter, love. And then that's like 0.0. But then, like, how do we do that? We all want a sense of security. Yeah? But then how do we do that? Did anyone teach you how to get a sense of security? When I was growing up, nobody taught me either. They said, be young, wild, and free. That's where it's at, baby. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. And so I looked around for what young, wild, and free looked like. And I guess young, wild, and free meant that you were tearing yourself a new butthole. That's what we young folks was doing out there. We were just doing all kinds of stuff. I wasn't a part of the young people that were preparing for the future. Unless that meant the next event that you were going to be young, wild, and free. That's the mantra that I heard. And it hurt me. And it hurt the people around me that grew up, you know, listening to that without any further instructions. But that's where the money was at for people to feed off of us. You know, young, wild, and free brings a lot of money. It brings a lot of heartache. Brings people to doctors, to institutions, to jails. Young, wild, and free is not preparing for the future and for the children that they're having while they're being young, wild, and free. And I noticed that was something that we had in common. That our children were getting caught up in that. I was caught up in it. But then as time started to roll by, I saw our children get caught up in it. And I said, those people that I thought were so different than me, they're not. They're having the same freaking issues that I'm having. They're watching their children have to contend with the same thing that I have to watch my children contend with. And then another thing, I was like, oh wow, so if my child has a hard time listening to me because I'm mom, what is it, a leader is never accepted in their own town or something like that, to that effect. There's a saying. It's like parents have the hardest time sometimes to get their children, you know, or even family members, you know, your brothers and sisters, you have the hardest time trying to get the people that are in your closest network to listen to you, because they've seen all the other little components of the daily life that we get lost in, that we think are the reality, that are actually a part of the illusion. So it's what we have in common that that we're going for here. What do we have in common? What do we have in common? We all wear many hats. About being in the community, say that, you know, I'm at my job and my employer is having a hard day. Instead of me empowering them, what I do is empower myself. First, I have the ability to respond to what they're doing in the way that I want to. I'm responsible for my emotions. Man, it feels good to be empowered. That you can't puppeteer me and yo-yo me all over the place like I used to let that happen. Because we were so different. We were so different. You were so much more empowered than me. But when we're the same, and we have the same set of emotions and feelings, I can see where you're coming from. I can see you're just having a bad day. Maybe you're feeling insecure. Maybe you need to feel empowered and you're just messing with me. But now it's not so personal because I can see you. I can see your human condition. I can see there's something in there that's hurting, that's broken. And in a way where it's just not, it's counterproductive to you. But that doesn't mean I have to add on to it. And I wouldn't be able to see that if I didn't look at my own personal work and how my own personal journey, where I was able to see when I need to cut it out. When I need to see that I am the elephant in the room. That these are my feelings and emotions that I'm rubbing off on someone else. And now here's the good part. Here's the good part. Here's the good part. And the same way that can happen in a counterproductive way, that also happens in a productive way. In the same way that somebody can walk in the room and you can just feel them and their emotions, and then they might penetrate that even further and say some things. They might even put their hands on you or do something physical, like you get fired, or something that they do physically affects you and moves something in your life. No matter how deeply the actions of another person penetrates you, we always have the responsibility once the lights turn on, once the connectivity is there, we can see that I'm responsible for my own feelings and emotions and how I'm accepting that. In the same way that they may or may not, maybe they're not aware, maybe they're not capable of being on that higher plateau of thinking or that different plateau of thinking. But if they're not, and you are, there's a responsibility now there. And that's an opportunity for change. Perhaps, I didn't even know a lot of things were possible until people showed me. I had to have someone show me. And I was grateful to those people, and I did show them. When I was with them, I supported them. I learned from them. I was humble about it for the most part. And I learned a lot by looking at what we have in common instead of what is so different. I look at differences I look at differences. We got to find out with some more words here. I look at our differences in a very unique way now. That's empowering. I look at our similarities in a way that is empowering. Even if it's our range of emotions that we can become subjected to. And our non-awareness that there's other influences impressing upon us to be the same. Or by telling us we're different in a non-productive way that's not cohesive. That's not healthy. We can choose. The big thing about energy is it's alive. It's alive. And there's a space that it comes from. That if you share it from a pure space without that you can put cut on it 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying? This is the dope stuff. If you share your inner light and your truth from a certain space, it's pure. People can try to cut it 1,000 times, but it's still going to come up. The truth, the essence, and the foundation of that is always going to be what we need. just like I never could fathom. I mean, I made everything so complicated at one time. I couldn't have fathomed that there was these folded space places all over the place. Some call it latent space. Some call it point zero. The creative space. The space where you make a decision that you can get with this or you can get with that is the same space. It's a big space. Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to say anything? Where is your creative space? What have you noticed about yourself that is the same, that you thought was so different? Is there anything, any kind of self-reflection that you got in your life that you can share with anybody else, with other people, that transcends? And you can't say no. Each one of us have a space in our lives where we found this to be true, if we pay attention to it. If we want to, to heed it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we want things to be difficult because we come from this trauma space, and this trauma space is very addictive. It brings with it certain adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? And our body can get used to being in that frequency, you know what I'm saying? Drama and trauma-based spaces. Sometimes I found that people like to be in those spaces because that's just all they're familiar with. It's like you have to wring yourself out, your flesh. We're over 70% water. So this is another folded space thing. We're over 70% water. And as I stated, we are also carbon, right? Okay? We are also light. We also ether. Fire, water, earth, air, and ether. Okay? This is us. This paper is a represent of that one dimension. And then if you can access yourself, say this is fire, water, earth, and air. These little 4 parts are one of each. You can access yourself by exercising to deal with your feelings and emotions. That's one. You can change your water using frequency. Okay, that's 2. You can change your physical condition by grounding and connecting with life itself. That's 3. Okay? And you get the picture, right? As you can access each part, then the same that this is the foot, and you can access different parts of your body through the different toes on your foot. You can access your entire body through your toes, through your foot. Isn't that crazy? In the same way that you can access and break down the different smaller aspects of you to access the bigger parts. You can, and there's a lot of tools. There's so many different tools that can fold the space and have us be able to access what's in there through looking at what we have in common, the commonality, instead of the differences. The differences is going to be like, oh, I'm fire. So different. Look at that water over there. Look at Earth just chilling out, growing freaking leaves and stuff. No. Fire. All I could do is burn. I want to be something more. Are you angry about it because you fire? Well, being aware that you want to be something more and that you're disappointed with being fire is like the first step. And then figuring out, okay, well, I am what I am. It is what it is. Now what do I do about it? Well, maybe I can, burn a little less bright, and so I don't hurt people, but still keep burning, still be fire. Maybe I need to put myself in an area where pine cones need to grow. You know? Maybe I need to change that into information, into a light code. Then I could be, I could be more accessible to people. So fire has its own journey. Thinking about how it can be like, maybe I can shine through the water and let people see all the light. Good day, Connor.
Hello.
Much love to you and yours. How you doing?
I'm good. Wait, are you American?
Yes, I am.
Oh, swear?
Where are
Jeez.
you from?
I'm from London, the UK.
Ah, London. All right now.
Yeah. What's America saying?
America is saying that it wants to join the consciousness of the rest of the world now, instead of feeling like we're exclusive.
Don't worry, World War Three's coming.
What was that?
World War Three's coming, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So did you have you ever had anything in your life that you felt was so different about yourself that you realized we had in common with other people?
Mm, no.
Nothing at all.
No, have you?
Oh, absolutely, lots of things.
Like what?
Okay, well, my whole life has been about things like that, but I could tell you one thing that I felt like was different about me was the way that I think. I thought that it was a bad thing. I thought, okay, the way that I think, I'm the only one that thinks like this, or that people had to think exactly, that you had to think exactly like someone else, and that's not true either. So I found that to be a lie.
I know that you shouldn't really give a hell what anyone else thinks.
That's true, but we should
'Cause-
also consider our environment and what are the people around us, what the genuine, thought mode is, so that you know where you are.
Yeah, true that. I feel like uh, if people care about what others think, like you're never gonna live. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a balance to it.
Yeah, but you
I'm not
shouldn't really
gonna.
care. You only get one life. Like you're not gonna like be reborn or come back. You know?
Well, that's also something that people think is different. Some people think that believe in reincarnation, and other people believe, like you stated, that this is your only life and you're not coming back.
True. Who knows? What's your religion?
I'm a Christian,
Yeah,
but
same.
I also do not think about it in the same way that
What? So you don't believe in Jesus Christ?
I believe in Christ, and I believe that
I believe Jesus created this world because I'm Christian.
I believe in a fractal
Hi,
universe,
Fana.
in a fractal world. So I believe that the same energy that people call Christ is transcendent. That it's like as above, so below, as within, so without. That it's not as simple as people are depicting it, but it doesn't have to be as complicated either once you get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So we all depict this deity in different ways, but it
Yeah,
does
but do
exist.
you think like religions like how can I put this? Do you reckon religions like corrupted the world? Like, imagine if everyone believed in the same thing. Like, do you reckon there'd be more peace or no? Because this is what it is. This is the way the world, this world's having like a war and stuff, you know? All that stuff in Israel and Palestine and Ukraine, Russia. Like, imagine if we all were born and just believed in the same thing. Do you reckon the world would be a better place or no?
I think it would be boring.
Yeah, it would be boring, but do you reckon there'd be
We
more
need we
people?
need the contrast. It's necessary. I don't think that we all have to believe the same thing, but to respect the differences that we have and to be able to recognize the similarities doesn't hurt, and it brings a different dimension to it.
But like, if there was only one religion, do you reckon there'd be wars still, or not?
Yes, because if there was only one religion, we'd be fighting over other stuff, other components within the religion. We would find a way to find something different to fuss about, which is the reason why paying attention to what we have in common is more practical.
Yeah, I don't
I
know,
mean, why
man.
is it necessary for everybody to believe the exact same thing? What is that?
I don't know. Just an example.
Can a pinky be a thumb?
Yeah.
No, no, it can't. A
Yeah.
pinky is a
Yes,
pinky.
it can.
How can a pinky be a thumb?
You heard of transgenders? You know when they get something different downstairs when they have something else.
That's out of the spectrum. That was
It's the
sneaky.
same thing. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. No,
It
it's not.
is though. It is.
Okay, so you're talking about transcending things. Okay.
We could say the
There are
same thing about
people,
that.
wait. There's
Someone could
people who
chop their
feel
finger
like
off and get something else there. It's the same thing.
there's similarities. There's people who feel like their pinky is a thumb.
Yeah.
They're entitled to think that their pinky is a thumb. However, physically, is my pinky a thumb? Physically. Not what I think. Physically. Realistically, what's there is my pinky a thumb?
Why are we talking about fingers?
Now you don't know what I'm talking about. But when you wanted to transcend it over into an area that's very touchy,
No, it is though.
you could
Like you
understand
could say
that.
the same thing about transgenders. Like, why would they want to be born as something and then be something else?
Because that's the way that they feel on the inside. And it's up to them what their journey in this world takes them. And that's what we have in common. It's up to me where my journey in this world takes me.
I don't know what your
And
prime
in,
minister
and
says,
in that
but our
journey,
prime minister says, yeah, if you are born male, that's what you are. There ain't no changing or nothing like this. And if you're a female, you're born like that, then why would you need to be transferred over to a male? That's what our prime minister said.
well, why would you
Yours might
need,
be different.
can I ask
Yours
you a
might be different.
question? Why would you need to know why they feel so deeply? If you're in disagreement so wholeheartedly about people that are transgender,
I don't care about transgenders. I'm just saying. That's what our
then
prime minister
why
says.
would you bring them up if you don't care?
That's what the leader says.
Why do you care about what the leader says? Why
Because
are you
he's
paying
our prime
attention to
minister. He's
what?
our prime minister. Everyone goes off for what he says.
Okay, so here we are where you're paying attention to a predominant thought, okay, that's telling other people what they should be thinking, and you're just going along with it. And now you're backtracking, asking the same question that this man was
That's why they
asking.
get bullied. That's why they get bullied so much.
Can you repeat?
It's their own fault if they want to change. Like fair enough if they want to change, but they know they're gonna get bullied for it.
Why should they want to change? What has it got to do with you if someone else feels like they're a girl or a boy inside and they were born a different sex? What has that got to
I'm
do
just
with you?
saying, it's got
How
nothing
is
to
that?
do with me.
Okay, so this is where it's at for me. It doesn't start to affect me or change anything until it goes over into the classrooms with little other children that don't have a choice on
That's
what
another story. That's another story.
exactly. So that's where it transcends for me into the space, into the folded space. People have a right to have their own human experience. No one owns another person,
Yeah,
and
but
it's the
why
most.
is it getting broadcasted so little children have to learn about it in school now? Would you want your little son or little daughter to grow up learning that in school? You wouldn't, would you?
No,
Why would you?
I feel like well, the problem with that is that it was the responsibility of the parents to teach the children, but the parents weren't doing their job teaching the children, so the school felt like it was their duty to teach children about sexuality and sex, and how it was so difficult for parents to do it.
Right, yeah, but why should parents teach that? They don't need to know at that age.
No, we all need to know about our sex and sexuality.
What, at a young
It's a
age?
very big part
Really?
of this world that we live in is procreation and intimacy. and
What? So
connect with
you
one
think
another.
little kids should learn about sex at that young?
No, I don't feel like little children
You
need to
just
learn about
said. That's what you just
that.
said.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm correcting it now. I heard. Okay, so these are the spaces that people find the differences, the differences, the differences, instead of what we have in common is that we're all a part of the human condition. We all want love. We all want to be accepted. And in order to have that, you have to project that out into the world. And we don't do that by judging other people's human experiences. Um, that's a personal space. Um, that's a personal space that people are allowed to. Intimacy is a very deep subject that's been corrupted. Intimacy you see, um, and intimacy with others. Um, and I wanted to say something. There's a lot of tricky stuff out there. A lot of people that like to exploit um, unity. They want people to be separate. They want people to find a reason not to be on the same page. Whether somebody is transgender or not, or gay or not, or whatever pronouns they want to use, has nothing to do with what I'm looking for. And that is, regardless of what you are you trying to develop your spirituality? Um, do you see yourself in that? Looking for solutions and trying to figure out what we have in common. That we all, the water situation is a mess on the planet. That's enough to worry about. Our food situation, the quality of the air. Um, and things like that. Um, and then there's people who will come on your live and try to, or any platform that you're on, they'll try to hijack your positive energy for other agendas. There's enough platforms talking about transgenders. This is not the one I really, that's not the space where I was trying to, they have their own issues and concerns and stuff, and I don't have anything against, it's like we have to make an announcement now that we don't have things against other people, We're just looking at what we have in common and that we want to respect each other for the commonalities. That we want safe spaces, respect, access to the right tools so that we can have good mental health, good physical health, a good spiritual well-being. And there's ways to do that. If you cut through the BS, like I was saying in this paper, all the separate spaces that they try to hijack your energy into. But we just want to be loved. That's the bottom line. What's in there? We're having a human experience. And we all want similar things within that. We all want to be safe to have our human experience and to figure this out. Not all of us, but I would suspect that the people that were drawn to this energy do. So this is Life Coach 369A. It's not so much the big things that people try to promote that will change your life. It's definitely the little ones. This is a fractal world. It's the small decisions that we make that change the overall picture. The small decisions that we make to choose to do or not do something that changes everything. The decision to empower yourself with what's going on with your own feelings and emotions instead of projecting them onto someone else who may not have the ability to control their feelings or emotions or have the intellectual capacity to understand themselves on a deeper level. If you run across somebody like that, then it falls on you if you are. That's also the folded space part. Those who know better do better, my mama used to say. So there we are. Those who know better do better. And now you know some things too. Much love to you and yours. You know I'm here. This is Siren Buddha Medicine, Life Coach 369A. And I'm out. I went past 12:30 and it wasn't too bad. We're going to get used to this. Thank you for being a part of the community and make it back. See you again soon.